So thank you very much for having us. I don't know who's next. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Roberto. And we just wanted to present a plaque to Naviyuk. Naviyuk mobilized from Mexico very early to meet our strict timelines, and so we are pleased that we are on track to commence the service as was programmed. So, Honorable Acting Premier, I'd like you to present this to Owner Merino. Thank you. And just before we get started on the familiarization tour, there are a number of players that we need to acknowledge. And so Mr. Ashley Lindsay, the Access Coordinator, will present the vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome again. Honorable Charles Kernan, our invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's our privilege to have you here with us today on this amazing occasion. On behalf of the Access Division of Office of the Premier and the entire government of Montserrat, we would like to thank all who have been part of this amazing project thus far, and all those who will eventually make it a success. We would like to particularly thank the teams of the Office of the Premier who has worked tirelessly to bring this project to where it is today, such as the Office of the Premier's admin staff, finance, tourism, MAC, DITES, and external affairs. We'd also like to thank all the other arms of government, such as the Montserrat Port Authority, Immigration and Customs, the Royal Montserrat Police Force, and the DMCA. We will also extend our thanks and gratitude to our colleagues in Antigua and Barbuda, the Antigua and Barbuda Port Authority, along with Immigration and Customs, the agent, Adams, and all other stakeholders who have given their commitment to make this project a success. We will also extend our thanks and gratitude also to our colleagues in St. Kitts and Nevis, along with the Airport Authority, Immigration and Customs, agent, and all those who have pledged to their support to this project. And finally, we would like to thank the general public, both home and abroad, for their overwhelming support. Your input and feedback have been incredibly valuable. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy, and we should be back hopefully by 11. We hope. Anyway, enjoy, everyone. Thanks again for coming.
Yes. Okay. Um, and just to indicate, James Daly of Chrysler's Tours, he'll be our narrator, and we do have some tourism and cultural promotional that would be displayed on the TV. So do enjoy the rest of the tour. So it's over to the captain, the master and crew. Thank you.
a fantastic area for hiking as well. And our highest point in the center hills is Katy Hill, which is 2,427 feet. I just want everyone to explore, enjoy a wonderful moonshot as everyone knows. Our island is a unique island, and that is the reason why in Scribes Adventures I'm selling moonshot in all what I can ever do, because I know my island is just unique and very, very nice. And just coming up on our left, is on our left you can see Line Kiss Bay. That's Line Kiss in that area. This is very smooth, and we only do it 27 knots, and it's so smooth. You can see coming up now would be Old Town. You can see Old Town at the distance there, and then Old Road would be just around like you probably Hotel. And you can also see Isle Hill from a distance, Garibaldi Hill.
This is Paulisa Reiner. I am currently on the V2V Empress. Today is Wednesday, November 1st, 2023. We are currently on the V2V Empress and we are taking a tour around the island. We just passed Woodlands Beach and we are making our way around the island. And we have some special guests on board today as well. And one of the special guests I have with me today is Acting Premier Charles Kernan, the Honourable Charles Kernan, and I'll just be asking him a few questions on how he feels that we have a passenger ferry service that will be running and starting tomorrow. So, Honourable Kernan, thank you for speaking with me today. How do you feel that Montserrat has finally got a passenger ferry service?
Well, let me put this that we finally returned to a ferry service. And I am quite pleased that we have achieved this milestone as government, because it has been one of the things that a sore point for most Montrealers, because we had to, release the last one. So I am really glad that we were able. And it has been a long time in coming. It has taken us a while because the regulations have changed, and the safety is paramount. And as we always say in any government, we earn the side of caution. So we're making sure that all the things that should be in place are in place. Per adventure, anything should occur, that will be covered.
Well, thank you for speaking with me, Acting Premier, the Honourable Charles Kernan. And before we take a short break, before I get my next guest, we are currently standing with no support, really. So you can see how smoothly we're running. Everything has been going fine so far. Everyone has been enjoying. Most of the passengers are actually on the very top deck, because they're having a little tour as well. James Scriber Daly is giving a tour to the passengers here. So most of them are at the top deck to have a full 360 view of what Scriber is detailing for everyone. So I will be back with some more guests, but for now, thank you, Honourable Kernan. I'm back. I am currently with the Minister of Agriculture, Lands, Housing and the Environment, the Honourable Cranston Buffong, and he is also one of the guests that are participating in the tour this morning. And I just wanted to ask you a few quick questions on how you feel that we have finally had a passenger ferry service returned to us, as the Honourable Kernan said. It has returned to Montserrat. So how do you feel about
this industry for quite some time? We understand the importance or the implications of not having a ferry. So for it to be back finally here on our shores, we're really grateful and we're happy.
But you were rocking from side to side a bit. You said you weren't used to it. But how do you feel overall about the trip so far?
Well, first let me start by commending the whole Access team and the whole Ministry of Finance and the Premier's office for making this possible. A lot of work went into this. But as far as comfort, it's very comfortable. I love the interior, I love the decor, I love the way it's laid out, the spacing. I've not seen the cargo space yet and the place for baggage, but those are two concerns that I would have as somebody who understands. But the overall ride so far for being in the front of the vessel is really comforting. Persons who travel would understand that the back does not come out of the water, whereas the front goes, up and down. So Just a word of hint, if you're worried about comfort, sit more to the back. But so far it's looking good. The aesthetics, of course, is really nice.
Any other final comments that you'd like to give to the public?
Listen, the ferry is an important part of Montserrat's traveling public needs. And I'm really happy, like I said, that we have the service back. The idea now is to extend it throughout the rest of the year, whether through negotiations with the captain, with finance, with the FCDO, whatever it takes to make sure that the ferry remains within our shores. There are a lot of persons who do not like the airline for whatever reason, and the level of comfort one that's on the ferry and the reliability for me is key. So I am glad overall, and encouraging persons too, if you're trying to get to Montserrat, go online, make your bookings or check one of the agents and get here. Use the ferry to the best of your ability. And for persons who want to ship things too, we have a lot of stuff in Montserrat we love to get out. Just use the service to the full capacity that it offers.
Thank you for speaking with me, Honorable Cranston Buffong. And I will be back with a representative from the Tourism Division, and just to get the angle of tourism as well. And I'll be right back.
Good.
I'm back. I am with a representative of the tourism department. Unfortunately, we do not have any tourism employees at the moment, but we have a representative in the permanent secretary of the Office of the Premier, which tourism falls under, Mrs. Daphne Castle. So, Mrs. Castle, thank you for speaking with me. I was just wondering, how will this be good in the tourism aspect for Montserrat now that the passenger ferry service has returned to us?
Good morning, viewers. And this is very important for the tourism sector. A lot of investments have been made in the airport and the support in the port's infrastructure, and certainly within the tourism sector. And I speak of all of the private investments in accommodation, tourism-based businesses, restaurants, and also the additional planned activities. So what this ferry service does, it expands the number of visitors to Montserrat in various categories. Day tours, these are your excursionists who would visit Montserrat for 5 to 6 hours, but increased spend within the economy. These persons would eat throughout the day at the restaurants, they'll take tours, They'll go to the souvenir vendors, purchase souvenirs, and some of our agro-based products. You know, from our staging of Prime, you're seeing that wide range of locally produced products of very high quality, and these would all be available for the tourists. So definitely boosting of the visitor spend. On the other hand, it allows your stay-over visitors for short stays or into longer stays, and our captive traveler, which would be the Montserrat diaspora. You know how important it is for them to return home at the end of the year for a year-end festival. And of course, St. Patrick's, we can refer to that as a hallmark festival. It has been just growing over the years. And so it is so important that we have this additional capacity to transport persons desirous of visiting Montserrat.
Okay. And I've been asking everyone, how has the trip been for you? How has the sailing been for you? Has it been smooth, rocky? How do you feel?
The smooth sailing. I do not travel that well on the ferry. From time to time I'm required to do, and I make the journey, but this has been extremely smooth.
Yes. So thank you very much for speaking with me. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell the public?
Well, we have a service that's available, a wide number of trips, like I said, a combination of day tours or long stays, 5 days per week, and into the height of the festivals, late December and March, we'll have a 6-day per week service. So lots of opportunities and a relatively large capacity, 200 capacity sailing. So we encourage persons, book online if you can, get in touch with the agents, that's Gemma's Shipping on Montserrat or D&J Forwarders in Antigua, and book your trip early. That gives us the ability to look at the trends, and we would have known in the past, like in 2020, 2019, we would have required to do multiple trips around the 8th, the 9th of March. So if you book early, then we would see the patterns and we can schedule to adjust and ensure that everyone can get over to Montserrat and have a wonderful experience.
Thank you very much for speaking with me, Mrs. Castle. That was the Permanent Secretary of the Office of the Premier, Mrs. Daphne Castle. We are actually making our way back to port, it seems like. So when we get to the end of it, I'll hopefully be able to speak with the captain of the V2V Empress and maybe some passengers as well to tell us how their trip was. Yes. So we'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Some ice, somewhere in the area, so I think that you can grab a drink there.
We're back, and I found some members of the public that are willing to speak with me to talk about their journey, the trip that they just completed. We have docked back at Port Little Bay. So I have a few guests with me who would like to speak with me first. Mrs. Mulcair, yes? Okay, so I have Mrs. Nyota Mulcair. She's actually the president of the Montserrat Civil Service Association. And you were one of the guests on the passenger ferry service tour that we had just now. How was the trip for you?
It was a wonderful trip. I actually went outside and had a ride on the way back up. So I rode down inside and rode outside to come back up, and both experiences were wonderful. I do appreciate that we are able to now have a passenger ferry to take us to and from Antigua, and now we're introduction to Nevis.
Yes.
So it's wonderful. Beautiful experience, and I got to see town Plymouth, which I haven't seen for a very long time, so the experience was good. And under my hat of Director of Postal Services, it's good to know that we'll now be able to have mail back on the ferry coming for the next few months, as well as the M&I Post Pack, where a lot of persons are looking forward to, where they can send their packages to our Miami warehouse, small packages if you want a dress or a shoe or anything for Christmas. Up to the end of March, you can send it to our warehouse, and it comes the very week. So once it gets into a warehouse by the Monday, you'll have it the same week on the Friday. So customers are looking forward to going back to that. So kudos.
Yes. So a lot of benefits, that not just traveling to and from Antigua, but receiving your packages in a
timely fashion. And I want to point out too that the ferry is not only about passengers. Right. There's lots of other services that it offers too. But a lot of persons tend to focus on just passenger. But remember, it brings oxygen for the hospital, it brings mail and lots of other things. So I'm happy. Yes. So
thank you very much.
With that, I'll leave by saying I'll pray that there'll be an extension.
Amen.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So we have one more person here. Laurel. I have Laurel. Laura.
Ren. That's okay.
Lauren. And how was your trip this morning?
This one, it was lovely. It was a nice ride going to Plymouth and back. I enjoyed seeing some of Plymouth. I haven't been there in a while. I saw the little bit of the volcano. It was a bit hazy, but I saw that. The ride is awesome. The ferry itself is awesome. We've got 3 levels. So you've got the downstairs, you got a little upstairs, and then you got to go outside. So I enjoyed every one of that. And the ride is smooth, I must say.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to the Nevis trips and the up to the Antigua trips and everything. So I'm thankful.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the public, or that's it?
Buy a ticket and get on the ferry. Let's go.
Thank you very much. And those were a few people. That was Lauren, thank you. And I have the Madam Speaker, Ms. Charlene White. Come through. And I did ask you if you could speak with me earlier on, and I know you went upstairs and you had the view at the top deck. So tell me, how was that for you?
Thank you, Paulissa. It was very comfortable.
Yes.
I really do enjoy traveling in the open air. And so I was happy to find out that there was an upstairs deck. And so as soon as I realized that it was okay to go upstairs, I really did. It's wonderful to have a ferry again. It's been so long since I've been on a ferry.
Yes.
I mean, it's really, really comfortable.
Anything else you'd like to say to the listening public? Or the viewing public, sorry.
Well, for those of you who have been waiting for a long time to take a trip, you've got an opportunity now to get on the ferry. It's really spacious and comfortable. You've got 3 decks. You've got the downstairs deck. You've got a middle deck upstairs that is still inside. And then you've got an upstairs deck that is outside for those of you who prefer to travel in the open air. The crew seemed very, very friendly. And willing to answer any questions that I had. So that was really, really good. And it's always nostalgic when we go that side of the island, especially since I'm from that side. I just wish we could have gone a little further so I could have seen Kinsale and Trials. But we stopped at Plymouth. It's always good. It's nostalgic. It brings back a lot of memories. And there's some places that we didn't know, so it was good to have Scriber, who was kind of putting things into perspective for those of us who were a bit lost because we couldn't pick up on some of the landmarks. So I really enjoyed it.
Thank you for speaking with me, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome.
I will let you go now. So I was actually wanting to speak with the captain, but they are doing their checks right now. So I will wait a while. If not, maybe then we can have a interview at a separate time that we will release at a separate date. But I can give you my experience. This is the second trip that I've taken on the ferry today. Yesterday was my first time, and we went to Nevis alongside with some ZGB and GIU employees, and we had a great trip. It was smooth on the way there, just a little choppy on the way back, and we thoroughly enjoyed our trip, I must say. And so I would like to also encourage persons to take a ride on the ferry, book a ticket, and come on down and travel to the Great Emerald Isle. Okay? So this is me, Paulisa Reiner, signing off. I will see you guys at another time. Thank you.